Hi there. 30 years ago on the 4th of March 1995, Manchester United beat Ipswich Town 9-0, a Premier League record equalled but never beaten. My company, Vision Sport International, was the host broadcaster that day. My uncle and mentor, the late Tony Gubba, was the match commentator. Andy Cole scored 5 of the goals that afternoon. Very much the good old days for Manchester United Football Club. Without the suspended Eric Cantona, we were beaten to the title that season by Jack Walker's Blackburn Rovers. But Fergie's team were on a run of winning the Premier League for 3 of the first 4 seasons it was staged. And it was very much the start of a golden era of domination for Manchester United. Now, 30 years later, our boys beat Ipswich Town again here at Old Trafford, but these are very different days. That win pretty much ends any real danger of United sliding into a relegation dogfight. But it doesn't hide the crisis that this football club now finds itself in. The fact that relegation is even a subject of discussion underlines how low United have fallen. We all know it's gross mismanagement by the owners over the past 20 years that's burdened United with over £1 billion of debt that's dragging the football club down, and that's why fans will stage a mass protest here when United play Arsenal on March the 9th. I'm not going to discuss the protest or any demands the fans will or should be making in this video. Instead, I want to talk about the co-owner, Jim Ratcliffe, and how I believe his leadership will continue to make life painful for our fans, for our team, and for everyone who works for Manchester United Football Club for much longer than many of us had hoped. I'd like you to think about how Sir Jim Ratcliffe's leadership will change the face of this football club forever, whatever happens in the short term out on the football pitch with Ruben Amorim and our struggling first team squad. Because Ratcliffe has embarked on a brutal period of austerity that is changing the face of Manchester United Football Club. Everything Ratcliffe is doing and saying right now reminds me of Margaret Thatcher, the much hated leader of the Conservative Party, who smashed the miners and destroyed many lives in doing so during the 80s when she was Prime Minister. Thatcher's philosophy was never mind the people, it's all about fixing the long-term economy. It doesn't matter what short-term pain and destruction is served up, it's all about the long-term goal, no matter what. Thatcher left communities and families in ruins. She effectively killed off the British coal industry. Ratcliffe is applying the same principles with Manchester United Football Club. He'll walk all over anyone he thinks is dispensable, never mind how loyal or valuable that person is to the football club and the local community it serves. If giving you the axe means he's made a difference to the bottom line, you're toast, no matter how long your service and what you bring to the table. If the business can survive without you, then you're expendable. It's all about numbers, not people. And if we end up with a soulless 100,000-seater stadium filled with tourists paying top dollar, then Ratcliffe will proclaim that he's a genius who turned around a football club currently in dire straits. The catch is, there's no guarantee the football club will ever be champions of England again. And that won't matter to the owners because the Wembley of the North will be a money-making hotspot for multiple sports and events. There's also the added pot of gold to be cashed in when the multi-million-pound regeneration of Old Trafford unlocks the value of 2 substantial plots of land under the control of Ratcliffe and the Glazers. If Manchester United can actually be challenging for the sport's biggest titles again one day, then that's a bonus. But it's not the priority or a prerequisite. Ratcliffe and his partners, the Glazers, are in this for one primary reason: to make money. The fact they're doing so on the back of Britain's most famous football club is soul-destroying. They're cashing in the legacy and the long, proud history of one of the world's most famous sporting institutions. A rich legacy and history built by knights and footballing gods who've earned their places in football folklore. There's something inherently distasteful about this simultaneous exploitation and disregard for the past. On the one hand, our history and the global support created by that history gives the owners a global community of devoted supporters that guarantees huge revenue and sponsorship deals. When Ratcliffe's people this week made it known they blame Sir Alex Ferguson's success for the current decline out on the pitch, it was the latest of many insulting narratives being spun by Ineos. Apparently Sir Dave Brailsford and his cohorts are sick of hearing about how United dominated the Premier League for 2 decades under Sir Alex Ferguson. Ratcliffe's right-hand man Brailsford feels the achievements of the past are weighing heavily on how United now go about the business of bringing back the glory days after 12 years of underachievement following Ferguson's retirement. According to one national newspaper, some influential movers and shakers at Old Trafford feel that Ferguson is to blame for the club's decline by failing to embrace developments in coaching and scouting. It's reported one United insider claims Ineos want absolutely nothing to do with the past. They don't want to hear how things were done when United were winning 13 Premier League titles, and they don't accept any suggestion that lessons can be learned from when the club's greatest ever manager was in charge. I understand the need to start a new era, but trying to detach Manchester United from our history is a big mistake. I fear that this obsession with disowning our past will not help us in the present or the future. We've already seen with his cuts, that includes axing hundreds of staff and sacking Ferguson from his ambassadorial role, that Ratcliffe cares nothing for the legends or the ordinary men and women who made this football club great. With a reputation for turning around struggling companies, Ratcliffe is applying the brutal cost-cutting strategies that work in business, but is overlooking the value of the heart and soul of this football club. The strength of the core values that have made this football club great is our history, our spirit, and the dedication of fans, players and staff that made this club so strong. Those values have held together an incredible global family that has truly seen it all. What I fear is that by enforcing the same kind of austerity we saw in the Margaret Thatcher era, this football club's identity will be lost and replaced with something our surviving legacy fans won't recognise. We may be successful again one day, but at what cost? It's that sobering thought I'd like to leave you with when you consider what fans are protesting about and what action we want to be taken to protect Manchester United Football Club.